Okay, children, so it's Thursday today, and today we're carrying on with our thinking about all the different things that we can use, the different things meaning the different tools or the different features when we're writing to persuade. And today we're going to look at using conjunctions. So hopefully you can all remember what a conjunction is. And so let's have a look, she says. Is it going to move on? So this is from one of the letters. It says, if this town is going to have a zoo, I may have to move to Mars. So it was a lovely sort of slightly dramatic, rather over dramatic sentence. Can you find the conjunction? Okay, so hopefully you have found the conjunction, and you might be saying, hang on a minute, it's not in the middle or round about the middle of a sentence, it's actually at the beginning. So let's have a look. Did you find if? So if is acting as a conjunction in this sentence. And so hopefully you might realise that we can swap this sentence around. So normally, not normally, but when we first start learning about conjunctions, we often see them in the middle of a sentence. However, what we do know is that sometimes you can swap them round. So if this town was going to have a zoo, I may move to Mars, and we could swap it round so that if wasn't at the end, I may move to Mars if this town is going to have a zoo. So I had to change the punctuation slightly. So what happens is if we have swapped where the clause is, that's when the comma comes in. If we've put the conjunction at the front, then we put a comma at the end of the clause. So if this town was going to have a zoo is the clause, and you can either have it at the beginning or at the end. And if it is at the beginning, then you need to put a comma in at the point where you swap it round. So let's think about how we might use conjunctions in our writing today. So to start with, as we're going to try and build towards our final letter, we'll put it within the context of our wind farm again with our for and against. Now, I've noticed a few of you have been thinking that wind turbines might absorb the sun. So solar panels makes energy from the sunlight, and wind turbines makes energy from the turbines going around. So I'm just checking. I had a few in the class that said the same and a few at home. So we're just making sure you understand the difference. So you can get energy from the sun with solar panels, and you can get energy from the sun with, from the wind with wind turbines. And also you could use turbines in the water, tidal turbines, if you might remember from one of the films. So what one shall we focus on today? And I'm going to zoom in and see this one here. So lots of people have said when they're not happy with a wind farm that wind farms can hurt wildlife and cause problems for wildlife. So if we want to put that into perspective or show the good side of that, then the fact that actually cats kill a lot more birds than a wind turbine might. So although it might happen, is it important enough for us to not do it? So let's have a little look at what sentence I came up with. Some people consider them to be dangerous to birds. However, cats kill more birds than wind turbine. I've just realised I've missed the S off that, haven't I? Them wind turbines, it should have been. So would we ban cats? I've put that in, put a little rhetorical question in because it sort of made sense to say that and to make people think that at the end. So I've used the conjunction however. And can we swap that around? However, cats kill more birds than wind turbines. Some people consider it to be dangerous to birds. So I don't know if it would work that way around. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So remember, it's just after you're just looking for a variety. It doesn't matter whether you swap it around or not. It's just knowing that you can. And another one I looked at was using the whole idea of the clean renewable energy. We really want that for the future of our planet. So our planet is the most beautiful, awesome place. We need to keep it that way. If we don't do something now, it might be too late. So I've used the conjunction if here, but also noticed I've built in some of our work from yesterday, the most beautiful, awesome place. So I've put in a comparative. So just notice the one before I was able to pop in a rhetorical question. So there's no reason that you can't apply some of the other skills while you're exploring the use of your conjunctions. So what I want you to do, this is quite a busy sheet, but it's a good one for you to leave up. I want you to write 3 sentences with conjunctions in and use these key points up here to help you think of what they might be. And you can use my examples if you want to, because it is really hard when we're starting to write whether we can think of them enough. So you might want to use my examples. If you do, make sure you put an S on the end of wind turbines. Naughty Mrs. Marshall, missing that off. And notice here, I've put the little coordinating and subordinating conjunctions up, so they're nice and clear for you to see. So if you're trying to think of something, you might be able to use those. It's a lot easier to think of a sentence and see if a conjunction works than choosing a conjunction and then trying to fit it into a sentence. I think some of you might remember you've sort of said to yourself, I'm going to use although, and then it's actually really hard to pull a sentence from it. It's much easier to think of, oh, well, I might talk about how dynamic sculptures enhance the view. So I might be thinking, oh, I can use because dynamic, because they are, you know, the wind turbines enhance the view because they are like dynamic sculptures spinning in the sky. So think about, don't try and set yourself up to fail because you've chosen a conjunction that you can't make work. So try and think of a sentence and then expand that sentence by using a conjunction. Do it that way around. So basically 3 sentences. There's 2 there if you're really stuck. Some of you might be able to come up with your own, and there's lots of different ideas. So I'm sure you'll be able to have a good go at that. Well done, everybody. Nearly there. Friday tomorrow.